A growing number of older adults are facing debt during their retirement years, and it's now a common reality, especially in these economic times. According to the 2022 survey of consumer finances for the Federal Reserve, the percentage of people aged 65 to 64 with debt has risen to 65%, up from 50% in 1889. Now, for those ages 75 and over, 53% report holding debt in 2022 compared to just 21% in 1889. Now, that's a significant change that we're facing right now. So, strategies for tackling retirement debt. While debt can be challenging, especially when income in retirement is limited, there are several strategies to manage your financial situation. So, here are 4 strategies for you to consider. Tip number 1, evaluate your debt. Not all debt is bad. If you have debt that earns you a tax deduction, such as a mortgage, it may be reasonable to keep it while focusing on other financial priorities. Now, however, if debt is straining your retirement budget or you're paying a high interest rate, consider a pay it off plan. Number 2, supplement with side work. The traditional retirement model for working for decades and then quitting forever may not be the most appropriate approach anymore. Consider supplementing your retirement savings and Social Security benefits with part-time earnings. Consulting in your prior field, monetizing a hobby, or taking up hourly work few days a week, for a few hours, can provide the additional income that may be needed. Now, if you aren't familiar with the options available, most cities have programs aimed towards helping seniors find employment. In fact, some people, it's not even about the extra income. Sometimes you just don't want to sit around and do nothing. TV gets boring after a while, movies get boring after a while, sometimes even all the social activities. Maybe you just want to make yourself active, and bringing in extra income won't hurt. Now, AARP, though, has a job site specifically for older job seekers. And then number 3, consider moving or downsizing. You may not need as much space as what you've been accustomed to all these years. Your home is often one of the biggest expenses. So if you live in a high cost area, property taxes and maintenance costs can eat at your ability to pay for other necessities. I know in Florida right now, they're being hit with higher insurance rates because of the climate changes. So that may be something to consider. Downsize. Moving to a smaller home or an area with lower cost of living can free up room in your budget and potentially improve your quality of life. There are many options available for senior citizens. You have senior citizen communities, there's apartments, some of it has a subsidized cost per month, so it isn't as expensive. Now, number 4, prioritize high interest debt. Calibrate your debt repayment to ensure that it aligns with your retirement plan. Remember earlier I mentioned your pay it down plan? So start by paying down high interest rate debt. If your budget doesn't allow you to, this is where this extra income that can come in place from the part-time job that you may find. Now, once this is all under control, consider a mix of debt repayment and investing when your debt interest rates are lower than potential stock market returns. Now, remember, managing debt in retirement is essential for financial stability. You want to seek professional advice if necessary and explore options that best suit your individual circumstances. By making informed decisions, you can navigate retirement with greater peace of mind and financial security. Are you ready to love? Nadia Edwards is a sought after Gen X dating coach, podcast host, and expert in helping single women over 40 find a life partner. After meeting her life partner within 30 days, Nadia brings a caring, no nonsense approach to dating, and she takes women who are ready to date again and put them on the path of finding their cherished partner. As a coach, she helps her clients navigate healing, uncover their personal values, embrace their needs, be honest about their wants, and put a dating strategy into action. Now, many of the women that she serves are successful, high achieving, financially secure, and fiercely independent women. And they question, why is it so hard to find a good man and compatible partner? But Nadia helps them to work through their self-doubt and find the romantic connection that they've been looking for. Nadia, thank you for joining us. You're going to help these women find some love this year.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So tell me, why specifically are you helping women over 40? Is there a specific issues that we have to work through more, or let me know, share.
Absolutely, Sanita. And, it is really like a personal pursuit of mine because when I was in my 40s and I went back into this whole dating world and I did not know what to do, where to start, it was a hot mess. If you had met me like 10 years ago, you'd have been like, she's an expert. What does she know? But I learned some things. And then I eventually, met my life partner after I did some work. And I just want to share that with all of the women who I know are having, a hard time. And it really is frustrating.
Mm. What do you feel are besides, I guess, probably like you mentioned yourself, you've been getting back in the dating world. What are some of the changes for those women who have not been out there?
Oh, some of the changes. Wow. So, how to date in this modern world, like with all the different dating apps, how do you interact in person with a man now? There's so many like rules, things have changed. Men are behaving a little bit differently, and so are women too, especially now that women are more financially independent. Some of the societal norms have shifted a little, right? So now, how do we, as independent women, financially independent, how do we show up and, not be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Just try to be attractive and attract the right mate. And there's some ways to do that.
Hmm. So I watch a lot of YouTube, probably because I'm on here, and I've seen a lot of the dating issues that's going on. I've been assuming that it's primarily the young people, like the women are demanding that you have to take me to certain restaurants. There was one woman was upset because a guy wanted to take her to Cheesecake Factory, but he had actually planned on taking her to a nicer restaurant, but she wasn't prepared. She was late, so that appointment, that reservation was gone. Do you find that women, as we're older, we have more rules in place that may not necessarily fit? Because I know the younger generation are having a problem right now.
Mm. I know. So for, older women, Gen X women, of course, we have certain expectations, right? And we can be a little set in our ways. However, we do have standards that we expect, and there's nothing wrong with having those standards. And when you start looking for that partner, you want to make sure that he also has standards, and you just try to, meet in the middle of where that is.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always talk to women about, like initially, is, who are you dating? Do you consistently date your type, right? Are you dating your type? And to sit down and do this audit of, maybe the past two relationships and see, who are you being attracted to? What is drawing you to these people? And I'll try to break that down and do a real, self-reflection, go in deep into that and see when you make that list of those two men that you last dated, the relationships that either they didn't go well or they did go well, what
Mhm.
are those characteristics that drew you to him? And then, like circle those things for each of those men. And then identify, are those things your core values? Are those things that drew you to these men
Mhm.
the thing that really means the world to you? Right. So if eating out is one of those values and he's taking you to the Cheesecake Factory, I like the Cheesecake Factory.
I like it
It's
too.
oh,
Oh, what's the
but let's
problem?
say, but if the Cheesecake Factory maybe is not, your expectation, that's fine. But is that a core value that you would cross somebody off of or, dismiss that? I don't think so.
Okay. Where do women go to even to find men? So I go out with my fiance a lot. A lot of times I'm looking around like, wow, there's no single men in here. They're usually with someone. And
Mhm.
I have a couple of girlfriends who are single, and I'm always like, go out, go to a restaurant, go sit at the bar by yourself. You don't drink, just drink some water, some soda. But honestly, I realize I'm telling them that, but we go out a lot and I do not see single men out.
Yeah. So single men are out. And in fact, there was a study done. So, like 55% of single men over 40 are looking for a woman to be in a committed relationship with. So, they are out and they are looking. Now, where are they? They're everywhere, right? But for a woman over 40 trying to like find where they are, go out and have conversations. I think the best way is to have conversations because it is kind of tricky to find these single men and they're all over the place. I always recommend, depending on what you're looking for, right? Going back to what person are you attracted to? What person do you want to meet? How do you see your life going forward, right? What does that person look like for you? And then you want to put yourself in those places. So if you're looking for, let's say a more affluent type of man, right? Typically they're like on the golf course. So if that's who you're looking for, sister girl, go take some golf classes, right? Learn how to play golf and then hit the golf course. If you're like into travel, right? If that's one of the things that you're into, then join one of the travel groups, start going into travel clubs, right? Um, I always recommend use Eventbrite, which shows what's happening in your town. And if your town is kind of quiet, extend your search to a different town, somewhere a little bit closer, and find these things that you're interested in and then expand your comfort zone a little bit to do things that you haven't done before and go to places that you haven't gone before because that really extends your net of potential partners.
Is Meetup still around? That would be another one.
And meetup is still around, but a lot of those things aren't really geared to like the more mature.
Okay, got
So
it.
just be, look to see, what kind of age groups are going out, but then also go out and do things that you like, and then do things that you have never done, like axe throwing. Like I've never done axe throwing, but I would do axe throwing, right? Because you may meet someone there. There are going to be a lot of men there, right?
Good
And
point.
you want to put yourself in these places, and maybe the restaurant is not the place to look for a single guy.
Okay. So I actually met my guy at a Black Caucus. It was a cigar event, actually. It's one
Mm-hmm.
here in DC, and the place was full of men. It was more men than women, actually. He was separated. Most women would not be open to dating someone who's separated, and I got a good one, actually. So I lucked up. And I think about that pretty often because in our age range, a lot of men are divorcing or in the process of divorce. Do you find that some women aren't open for that? Because they don't all have baggage.
Uh, I, that is really a personal decision, right? And you have to be cautious about how you handle that. It worked out well for you, and that is awesome. But it goes back to knowing what your core values are. So if you know that your value is that you do not want to date someone who is not formally
Mm-hmm.
removed from whoever they were dating, then that's what you should abide by. If it's okay with you that this person is in the process,
Mhm.
then you have to ask certain questions and make sure that however you're going to navigate that situation, that it is comfortable for you, that it meets your expectations, and that you set up some boundaries and clearly communicate what you're looking for.
Yeah. And what about because these days with the internet and everything else, people can so easily pretend to be something that they're not. I would think that that's something that women our age who have been married for a while or getting back out there, how do they navigate that to be safe, to make sure they're not being scammed, all these other issues?
You know, you're talking my language. Yes. So to do that, there are a couple of things. So if you have, so depending on where you've met this person, if you have met this person on like a dating app, and now you're going to transfer and meet them in real life, right? You want to tell someone, tell a family member, a good friend where you're going. You meet this person in real life. You know, you ask them certain questions. If you get their full name, you want to go back and run that, you know, get that report, you know, sign up for those identity reports, and you could see, oh, you know, Tom Jones, okay, yeah, he lives in New York. Tom Jones, yeah, he's 45. You want to make things kind of check up. And then you want to, you know, continue to talk to them and ask them certain questions, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, scammers have been around for a long time. They've been around before, right? So they've been around for years. So it's just about trying to confirm the person in front of you. Do you want to look at their driver's license? I don't know if it's that serious, but you definitely want to try to get a full name. I would also recommend not sharing your social media with someone that you've just met,
Hmm.
because scammers will use that information in your social and try to behave as if they know you,
Mhm.
and then create this automatic chemistry because, oh, I know Sunita, you have, you know, and whatever that you've posted right now, they're using that information to
Hmm.
seem as if they really know you, and there's this connection, and it's all automatic and natural. So don't share your social. Run a background check if you can.
I hadn't heard that before. Wow. So, do you advise women to date more than one guy at once?
Absolutely. Dating multiple men or seeing multiple men at the same time is a game changer, especially when you haven't dated for a while. And here's why. You know, when you go out, you haven't done it for a while, you meet this man and he seems nice and you're all excited. Oh my gosh, I met him, right? And then you commit too
Mm.
soon. So when you date multiple men at the same time, it allows you to calm down. And then you're able to date, and then you're able to see, okay, so which guy kind of matches what I'm really looking for? Who is aligned with my values? Who's aligned with the life preferences that I have, right? And dating multiple is such a game changer, which I did. That's how I met my husband. It just gives you this moment of calm.
Mm,
Gives you a moment of
okay.
calm.
Do you think that if the men know that you're dating more than one person, it gives him a little bit of, because men like to compete.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. And yes. So, and you should definitely tell them, right? You tell whoever it is, hey, listen, I am looking for a life partner. I'm fully vested. And to let you know, I am dating other people as well. And then,
Mm,
yeah, have that competition. But even though they will compete, make sure that you want to see that his actions align with your values. You want to see, you know, so
hmm.
if he says that if family is a value that's important to you, and he says family is a value that's important to him, you want to see that in action. Does he spend time with his mother? Does he go to family events? If he's not doing any of that, then family probably is not something that he values, right?
Okay.
So give that time. And dating multiple men will allow you to calm down, because when we get excited, like, you
Yeah.
know, we can say, oh my gosh, she's so nice, right? But
Hmm.
calling our friends, texting our friends, I think I found him. And then, you know, a few dates in or whatever, which is what I always hear, women will come and say, I cannot believe that he did X. And I was like, well, how
Mhm.
long did you see him? Well, I only saw him like, and then it becomes, oh, well, you did not date him A long enough. You only committed to him too soon.
Okay. And I'm guessing it probably because some men like the idea, the chase, or some men are just very competitive. You want to make sure he's not just doing all the right things because he wants to win you over and then he leaves once the other guys have been X'd out. You don't want that either.
It it is a possibility, right? That's why you want to allow
Hmm.
enough time to see that he is showing you things that really means the world to you. You want to see it. He could, and you don't have to tell him all your values, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to even share what your values are. You just want to see what his are and kind of make sure that he demonstrates them in action. And that will
Mhm.
take some time. Like give time so you can see that. And if he doesn't commit right away, and he shouldn't commit right away, hopefully he's dating too and figuring out what he wants. But give that some space. Like there's really no need to rush.
Hmm.
In fact, if a man rushes into a relationship, that's very suspicious behavior. And most scammers tend to rush into relationships.
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. That was it called love bombing? Just to,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. All right. Like, what is your process?
Yeah. So I really approach, as a dating coach, I really approach it as trying to find out, hey, what do you really want, right? Based on this point in your life,
Mhm.
right? Forget about all the other, the past relationships. Because I think, and what I know is as an older woman, right, a lot of the relationships that we had, we were kind of told the type of person that we should date. We're kind of told, what relationships should look like. So at this point, it's really about what do you want going forward? Who do you want to meet now? And then after, we kind of get that, then it goes into, okay, let's put a plan together so I can help you get there. And also, what are your dating challenges? What are you open to doing at this point? And let me help you do something else, right? Let me help you with that. I really help women who are, accomplished. They have confidence. That was another thing, Sunita. I was really frustrated always hearing that women did not have confidence. That's why they couldn't find someone. And I was like, no, I have a whole lot of confidence, right? Um, so then it's all about, just helping women who are just having this hard time not finding this person and
Mhm.
to help validate, hey, you're fine. Come, let me help you just get on track. Let me give you the strategies to use, and then you'll be able to find that person.
Hmm. Okay. How long do you generally work with your clients? Like from the day that is there a free consultation? How does that work?
Yeah, so I always start off, and I was going to mention it later. I always start. I always want to do a free call, and that's just to get to know, all the dating challenges, where the woman is in her dating, and then see what type of support that she needs. Because my role is really to support her in getting to that relationship that she really wants. So it could be anywhere from 30 days, depending on what her needs are
Hmm.
to up to 3 months, and it all really depends on where she is, how much support does she need, and how willing is she, is she ready to go really quick, or is she
Mhm.
want to take her time, and really need some more support, just getting really back out there. And I have clients who are like, listen, I've been out in these dating streets, I just need some help trying to fine tune what I'm doing, right? That woman try to find will probably fall into like my 30 day. Then
Mhm.
I have women who haven't dated in like over a year, right? So she would need some more support.
Mhm. And if someone's been married for 20 something years or whatever, probably even more, because the whole, I guess you could say the whole atmosphere of dating has changed.
It has changed. And then it goes back into who are you looking for today, right?
Mhm.
You have that 20-year history.
Mhm.
Hopefully you have grieved that loss, right? Because any relationship that ends, there is that grieving process. I don't care whether good or bad, right? and then to figure that out. And then, try to figure out what is her attachment style, right? That whole attachment theory, and try to figure out who is she best suited for and who's best suited for her. And that is a real partnership. I really partner with my clients, with women who come to me.
I like that. I love partner. Love
I
partner.
love
Wait, love coach partner?
we can start that.
I had to clean up because I realized like, wait, love partner is the one you're trying to get.
A life partner you're trying to get. A
Oh, that's
dating coach. To get the life partner, you're going to need a dating coach to help you get there.
yes, because and it is a process, I'm sure, of learning how to date again, learning how to ask questions, what to ask someone that, yeah, the whole atmosphere has changed in that regard. So, how would a potential client reach you for her free consultation and decide where to go from there, and any other information that you may have to share?
Yeah, so before I even get into that, I really want to say that I am so passionate about helping single women over 40 find a partner because yeah, I find it's just really hard to get there and to get out and to do that. Um, and I talked about like the whole not dating your type is like one strategy, and I have, many more, but we don't have time to get into that. So if there's anyone who's interested, send me an email to freecall@nadiaedwards.com. And that free call, we're going to have a relationship vision session, which is complimentary, which is free. And on that call, I really want to hear, what are your dating goals? What are your challenges? And then I'll share with you, what can we do together? How can we partner together to accomplish these goals and to get you on the right path to find your life partner?
Mhm.
So again, if you're interested, anyone watching, send an email to freecall@nadiaedwards.com. I'll respond, or I'll have someone on my team respond, and we'll set you up for that free call.
Wonderful. We're going to get you ladies some love this year. I mean, what is it
Absolutely.
called? The second half of our life. You want to spend it as fulfilled as possible. Not everybody wants a relationship. Some people do, but those women who do, we want to get you guys tied up.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Thank
I always say a life partner because not every woman wants a husband,
you.
right?
True.
But
Very
you do
true.
want a partner to share life with.
I love that. Thank you, Nadia.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.